that can affect those timing calculations that you just cannot account for. So, I mean, the only real hard and fast rule is what does the measurement say?
Yeah, you can't figure out the health of your fermentation by timing.
Mm-mm. No.
How far along are you? Well, I don't know. It's been bubbling for 3 days.
And
that only matters if you know how many more days it's going to bubble.
Yeah. And
I do use... Yeah, now there are things that I do use a bubbling airlock for, like when does lag phase end? I don't really need to drop the hydrometer in there if I know that I've cut a good seal on my bucket. And I actually do have one bucket that doesn't seal properly. It has never ever given me a bubble through the airlock, so I know better than to trust that one. And my very first time I tried making strawberry wine, the shit bubbled for 3 years. It was bone dry. It bubbled for 3 fucking years. I don't know why. It tasted great, but it bubbled for 3 goddamn years. For no good reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Nobody else has
probably had a good reason.
I'm sure it did, but the thing is, the gravity didn't drop at all in the whole time that it continued to bubble after it was done. It just kept I kept getting through the airlock, and I would expect that if it had been, that's the other thing too. The atmospheric pressure can cause airlock activity as well. And temperature changes, pressure changes, temperature changes can cause your airlock to bubble one way or the other, actually. And in this particular batch, it was the only one that was bubbling, even though everything else was done and still as well. And
that's because you couldn't see it when it was bubbling backwards and getting filled with air when the temperature would go down, probably.
Yeah, but the thing is, if that's what was going on, I would have expected all my batches to be doing that. But, it was doing, it was going for, a bubble every couple of minutes for a year. Which makes
that's a lot of off-gassing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, every now and then I have a batch that makes no bloody sense, and I just, mark it down as an outlier and carry on about my day. But that was one of them, and this is why I don't trust an airlock as a gauge, It'll tell me when I need to drop the hydrometer in and check things, because when it starts slowing down, okay, it looks like we're starting to get... Because I usually stop measuring after I've finished adding my... nutrient additions and finished with aeration, because I'm lazy. I am inherently lazy, and the less times I have to touch must, the less times I have to sanitize everything, the less time I'm risking anything. So I tend to just leave it alone until the airlock stops, and at that point, then I drop in the hydrometer and make sure it is in fact about as done as it wants to be done, and then that's the point at which I will check to see if it's ready to be racked into secondary. So you can use your airlock as an indicator when to get out your hydrometer.
Yeah. Well, I'm lazy and I'm risk averse. So I try to, once the nutrients are done, I'm the same way. I try, because I'm lazy and risk averse, try not to get in there, get in there as little as possible. Just maybe to see if there's if I'm reaching final gravity after the bubbles are just gone, And the only way to know you're at final gravity is with what?
Your hydrometer! Everybody say it with me. Your hydrometer!
Your hydrometer!
Your hydrometer!
Because, as my very first traditional mead indicated, the fact that your airlock has not bubbled doesn't necessarily mean it's done, because I had a fizzy batch after I bottled it. And, the airlock hadn't bubbled in a couple of weeks, and the specific gravity hadn't changed in a month, and I figured I was safe, and there was still residual sugar. That is something you need to know before you bottle. If you have residual sugar, and you haven't left it in a carboy for a year or two, you really should stabilize it.
And mine gets stabilized regardless. It doesn't matter. If they've got residual sugar, they're getting stabilizing chemicals before they bottle.
No question about it. It's just become standard practice for me, and I think it probably should be for everyone, barring the fact that you might have a sterile filter, which I don't know many people who do.
Yeah, stabilization is probably something that I should have put on the list of good habits. Again, I am the classic bad example, and I'm lazy, so I don't do it all the time. But again, because I'm lazy, I often have batches that have been sitting around in the carboy for a year or 2 or 3 or 5. And so I'm pretty sure if they haven't started up now, they're not going to.
Yeah, we're going to... Bad example, we're going to put Manny in charge of doing the layout for remembering to talk about things. He keeps every week he's like, I got all this stuff I want to add. Where do I add it?
Well, the reason for doing that is because it really sucks when you put in all that work and all that time and money, and you make a really good batch of mead, and you let it age, and you're real patient, and you finally get around to bottling it, and you're proud of it. It tastes good. And then you come back in 2 or 3 months, and your corks have pushed out, and the mead's ruined.
Mm-hmm.
When that happens one time, you will always stabilize from then on.
Unless you're me and you're a bad example.
Well, somebody's got to be
However, I at least do the stupid way, the smart way, because I almost always, every time I bottle, what I have found is that the batch with the dregs in it has the most yeast in it. So it's the most likely to start fermenting if it's going to. So usually I will put that in a screw top bottle so that I can check on it every now and then. So I'm doing the stupid way at least. I'm doing the stupid thing the smart way at least, because I bottle it in a way that I can check on it. So if I crack it open and it goes tss, then I go and fix the whole batch. But I've only had that happen. I had that happen with 2 batches of JAO, and that's pretty much it. Everything else has been fine after 2 years in the carboy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the way that I adopted to do it is to always bottle from a bottling bucket, which makes it really easy to add your stabilizing chemicals. You can just put them in the bucket and rack, out of your carboy rather than bottling from your carboy. Just rack it into the bottling bucket, and it's just so much easier. Plus, if you do have a little bit of sediment in your carboy, it makes it easy to avoid that getting into your bottles. So, just another method.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing about mead making and wine making and beer making and all of that, is figuring out what works for you, because if this works for me and it doesn't work in your particular setup, then it's not good for you. Figure out something that works for you.
Absolutely. Well, guys, look, I'm going to get off here. I just wanted to call in and say thanks to y'all for all the concern and well wishes, and I'm glad to hear that talking about making good mead, because that's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Well, and I know you guys are going into break here soon, so feel free. You're always welcome over here to come in anytime for as long as you want.
Yep, we're going to be off the next 2 weeks, and I don't have anybody to talk to about mead making, so...
Gotta get your fix.
I guess we'll see you next week, then.
That's it. Well, all right. Well,
bugging the hell out of you.
That's it. So, all right, everybody. You heard him say it here. Chris from Miss is going to be on next week, so we all get to pick on him if he doesn't. So,
I'll do my best, I promise.
All right, man. Go forth and heal a little bit, and turn up the sound on Chicken TV, and we'll talk to you soon, my friend.
Take it easy. Bye-bye.
All right,
Take care.
For those of you who may not know what the heck Chicken TV is Chris's wife, when he was still in a wheelchair, his arm in a sling, got a busted leg, can't do nothing. And so, and she had to go to work still. So she'd wheel him. He doesn't watch TV. Chris likes to work out. So, like, basically they took away his workouts because, couldn't get out of the wheelchair.
Because he's broken.
Because he's broken, yeah. And he doesn't watch TV, and he doesn't do much with computers except send the occasional email. So he, was like, but he loves to be outside. He loves to work out and all of this. They got them a little garden out back, and they got chickens and stuff. So his wife would wheel him out on the back porch, and all day he'd just sit out there on the back porch and watch the chickens. So his wife started calling it Chicken TV. She was watching Chicken TV all day long. So it's just become kind of a running joke. It's like Chicken TV, man. What's going on Chicken TV today? I think we've run way over this time. So I think we'll go ahead and...
not way over. We've been way worse before.
That's true, we have. But we've still got some other stuff I want to get out there for the closing stuff. Okay, I do want to do... There's one special... we didn't really do any commercials tonight, but I want to do one that I need to happen. Moonlight Meadery is dealing with a challenge to their trademark from another company who's using the word moonlight. And Moonlight Meadery can use your help. So if you're ready to fight for Moonlight, then this week only, if you use the coupon, and this is all in caps, so y'all be ready to write this down, fight dash the number 4 dash moonlight, and that's fight dash the number 4 dash moonlight, all in caps. Then this week only, that coupon will get you special savings off their Utopian mead. That's one of their best meads. It's really, really good. It also works, by the way, on their Utopian number 9, which is a special release of a, it's several years aged in bourbon barrel mead. I got to do one of the, I was given a bottle of this to review, and I kid you not, if they have mead in the afterlife, this is what it tastes like, okay? You have to have a bottle of this. It's stupid expensive. It's worth every penny. Basically they're looking at up to $40,000 to fight to keep their trademark. So they need to move some mead. So if you are out there listening and you've got some money laying around and you've been thinking maybe you need some mead in your life, you want to do this. So go to moonlightmeadery.com/shop. Buy Utopian today. Put in the coupon fight the number 4 moonlight with dashes in between fight and 4 and moonlight. So fight dash number 4 dash moonlight, all in caps, and you will get a nice discount. I've already bought my bottle. It's a nice discount. Just let me tell you, it's just definitely a really nice discount, more than you will expect to get. Go get your bottle or bottles today and help them fight to keep their trademark and get yourself some pretty fine mead. So I just wanted to get that in there. And then
wasn't there something about autographing?
Oh yeah, he will autograph each bottle that's purchased. So, which is kind of cool. So definitely get your bottle or bottles now. I ordered 2, and if you buy the Utopian number 9, there's only like maybe 15-20 cases of this stuff left, and when it's gone, they won't have another limited release until like 2020. So literally, this is like a once in a decade opportunity. So yeah, so pretty good stuff. We got shout outs for 2 other meaderies this week. Golden Coast Meadery just announced that they're starting a mead club. They've actually been on the show a couple of times. Go to goldencoastmead.com/mead-club to learn more about that. So they've got a mead club starting up. And then Bee Nectar they've been talking about their mead club for a while, but it's finally up and running. It's called the Royal Jelly Bottle Club. I swear to God, Brad's on crack, but I just love the stuff he comes up with. And when you when you load the page, the first thing you see is Brad in a banana suit, and it says peanut butter jelly time.
Oh dear God!
That'll be stuck in your head for the rest of your life. You just cannot. You cannot unsee this. You cannot unsee this. It's hilarious. So find out more at Bee Nectar. That's BNEKTAR.com/royal-jelly-bottle-club-details/ So there, and that's supposed to be. I mean, that's a limited number of memberships that they're giving out. And given the fact that the bee nectar people that like bee nectar tend to be pretty rabid about their bee nectar, do it fast. They will run out quick. I'm not even gonna try because a lot of it's local stuff, and yeah, I'm not local there yet. So, upcoming stuff. We have the Mead Mixology Mixer, which is tomorrow, and I will be there at the Atomic Fern in Durham, North Carolina, at 108 East Parish Street in Durham. And also on April 27th, both nights from 6 to 8 p.m. They're going to make some new mixed drinks made from honey